Hello, yogis. So I just wanted to continue to offer some practices that are wonderful for practicing at the end of your day or before bedtime, that are low to the ground, very slow. I feel like from some of the feedback that I get from you guys, and as well as what I feel in my own body, is that some of these like short, slow, and low practices are really, really helpful for us. So today we're going to continue to just be slow and low to the ground, but I wanted to do a little bit of heart opening. Now we have to be mindful with any kind of like heart and chest opening that it doesn't increase energy, which is one of the benefits of these type of practices. But I feel that we spend so much time rounded forward on our phones, at our desk, in our car. We are always rounding over the heart. And also from just like a survival standpoint, if we ever felt that our life was in danger, this would be the first area that we would just naturally protect. We would guard this front space of our body. So it feels really nice to kind of let ourselves open up. But we want to do it in a way that is calm and that continues to make us feel good, especially if we've had a really hectic day. So what I'd like for you to make sure that you have for this particular video is I've got a bolster. Something that also works really well is just folding up a blanket. So having something that will work. And then I also have 2 blocks. So we're actually going to start with our bolster or our blanket. So go ahead and find that. But we want to keep these blocks close by. So I'm going to take my bolster or your folded blanket and we're going to put it on our mat. We want it vertical down the mat. And we're going to turn away from the bolster so that maybe there's about an inch or 2 between the end of the bolster and your tailbone. And you can hold it as you begin to recline back. And this is going to support your spine. Now, if you feel like your head is dropping too far back, grab one of your blocks and slide it under your head so that you can elevate your head a little bit higher than your heart. And it really just might be what feels the best for your neck, okay? And then what we're going to do is we're going to butterfly the knees open. And if it's okay for you, then to just keep your arms out and roll your palms to face up. And we're going to just take this nice, gentle, supported Supta Baddha Konasana. So I would like for you to maybe just close your eyes. Feeling the heels hug together and the knees point wide. You might feel a stretch in the inner thighs and your hips. And there's a little arch in the low back. This blanket or the bolster is actually lifting the lumbar part of the spine. And it helps lift your ribs and your diaphragm up away from your pelvis so that the front of your body is open and expansive. And then you can just let your shoulders roll open. This is going to open up your collarbones, your heart. Begin to focus your awareness on your breath. And just feeling your breath moving in and out of your nose. Sensing that as you exhale, that you're just letting go. Letting go of whatever it is that you're carrying or that you're holding on to, just let it go. And noticing as you breathe in that there's this amazing expansion of your chest and your lungs. Let's just stay here a few more moments. And as you rest here, you may even begin to observe what resides in the heart. And I don't mean the 4 chambers and the cardiovascular system. What I mean is the spiritual and the energetic heart. Just notice what may be lingering here, or what may be creating a little bit of weight or heaviness. And try to not attach or react. Just observe. We're going to slowly bring our palms to the ground, and you can use your hands on the outer knees to bring your knees up to center. And what I like to do to come off of the bolster is to roll over to my side. And just come off of the bolster. Let's stretch out the arm and rest your head on the arm. Letting your knees bend so that you're resting in the fetal position. Gently pressing up. Let's go a little bit bigger. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my bolster or blanket and I'm going to turn it horizontal on the mat. Again, turning away from the bolster. I've got a little bit of space between my tailbone and the bolster, maybe now about 3 inches. And you're going to begin to lay back, and we want the bolster to support the lumbar part of the spine. You can stretch your arms out wide or bend your elbows like goalposts. And I'm going to keep my knees bent, feet on the ground. And as best as you can, let your tailbone point downward. Focusing your breath down into the lowest part of your abdomen. Let's take 3 more breaths here. And then when you're ready again, we're just going to roll to our side. And nice and slow, come up off of the bolster. And then we're going to slide that bolster up maybe 2 or 3 inches. And then turn away from your bolster. And now we want the bolster to support the lowest part of the thoracic spine, the top of the lumbar spine. Right now it's like across where a bra strap would be, or behind the ribs. And you can just stretch out your arms. I like to keep the knees bent, feet on the ground. For me, that just feels steady. And I want you to breathe into this extension of your spine. Just lay back. Let's take 3 more breaths. And again, just making sure that you're breathing down into your abdomen, all the way down into the torso, as deep as you can breathe. Taking your time to roll to your side and gently coming up. And now we move our blanket or bolster up again, just maybe 2 inches. You're going to turn away from your bolster. So now there's some just pretty significant space between the tailbone and the bolster. But now we're going to lay back. And now we want that bolster right behind the heart. So the top edge of my bolster is right underneath the armpit. So if my arms are bent like goalposts, this kind of outer edge of my arm is almost resting on the top of my bolster. And again, you can keep your knees bent, feet on the ground. You can always stretch out your legs and see what that feels like, but for me, it always feels so good to just keep my feet grounded. So you can see what feels the best for you, but this is a little bit bigger lift. Just behind the lungs. This gives us space to take those deep, full breaths down into the abdomen. Let's take 3 more breaths. And try to just relax here. Let your spine and all of these layers of tissue and muscle receive a massage. And then when you're ready, we're going to roll to our side again. And come all the way up. Good. Next, we're going to do our biggest spinal extension yet. So I'm going to take my bolster and set it over to the side. This is where the 2 blocks are going to come in to use. So I'm going to take 1 block. So my first block is horizontal on the mat, and it's also at the medium height. My second block is kind of standing upright, and again I have it vertical across the mat, but now it's on the highest height. So this is what we do. We turn away from the blocks. I always start with my knees bent, feet on the ground. We're going to hold this bottom block. Now the bottom block, we want it right about the center of the back. So for me, that's right about where my bra strap is. It's right behind the ribs. It's below the shoulder blades, but it's not down here in the lumbar part of the spine. So I say this base of the thoracic, top of your lumbar, just behind your ribs. So I always hold my block. This way it doesn't shift on you or wobble around. And as you begin to lay back over the block, you're going to let your head drop back, and the second block that's on the higher setting is to put behind your skull, because we don't want the head to drop way back. We want the head to be supported. So find that sweet spot to rest your head on. And then take your arms and just roll your palms up. Maybe close your eyes again. And for some, especially this bottom block that's behind the ribs, it can feel intense, because this may not be a familiar sensation to your body. To have such a big extension in your spine, or to even be reclined back over an object the way that we are. So if you feel any intensity, I want you to know that that's normal. So just try to relax and focus on your breath. And just receive this as a massage. We're getting this nice massage on these strong connective tissues and muscles that attach from the back of the ribs and go down to the pelvis. So we're getting to massage and work out any tightness that we're holding in that space. The ribs are lifting up and open, so the abdomen should be just this nice big space for you to breathe into. And you can play with extending your legs or keep your feet on the ground. Really, it's whatever feels steady for you. Let's just take a few more moments here. Close your eyes. Breathing in and out of your nose, and breathing in a way that you're just reaching all the way down into the abdomen and pelvis with your breath. Let's take 3 more breaths. And when you're ready to come up, the palms face down. We're going to bend our knees, put your feet on the ground. And again, I like to either roll to your side, or you may be able to lift your head and press into your hands and come right up the same way that you came into it. And let's just stretch out the legs for a moment and just sit up in a neutral position. Go ahead and set your blocks over to the side. Let's come onto our back. Lay flat on your back. Again, bending your knees, feet on the ground. This time we're going to walk the feet out a little wider. Let your knees drop to center and your arms are by your side. Begin to let your knees drop over to one side and then the other, so that the shins are doing this windshield wiper action. Nice and slow, side to side. And then coming back to center. Let's bring our knees into the chest. And maybe a little rock side to side here. And coming back to center, go ahead and lower your feet. And just relax your arms and legs and just lay back onto the earth. You may even feel a warmth or just a presence of energy in the spine. As you start to wiggle your fingers and your toes, come back nice and slow, maybe flutter your eyes open. And let's bring the right knee into the chest and just hug the right knee in. And go ahead and switch your legs. So stretch your right leg out, bending the left knee into the chest. And we bring our feet to the ground. And roll over to your side, nice and slow. Pressing up into a comfortable seated position. Bring your hands in prayer and bow your head. And just once again, close your eyes. And I just want you to tune in to anything that may have come up for you today, whether it was in your body or your mind or your heart. And we're going to bring our left hand onto the heart and put the right hand on top. And just for a moment, I want you to feel the life that is here right now. One of the best ways that we can nurture ourselves is sometimes just pausing, bringing our hands to the heart, just feeling that you're a vessel of love. No matter what we deal with in our daily lives or whatever comes up for us, we are just a vessel of love. Thank you for practicing with me. Namaste.